All right, let's get right into it. We're going to explore what makes huge, complex projects succeed, or, let's be honest, what makes them fail. And we're going to use the high-stakes world of construction as our guide, because when communication breaks down on a building site, the consequences are, well, they're immediate and they are massive.
So let's kick things off with just one number, 70%. Check this out. One study found that a whopping 70% of construction projects faced major time overruns. And when they dug into why, it all came back to one single thing: poor communication. I mean, that's not just a little hiccup. That's a total systemic failure. So just think about that for a second. Think about the last time you were on a project that just went completely off the rails. What was the reason? Was it a technical glitch? Did the budget dry up? Or was it something simpler? A misunderstanding, a missed conversation, a team that just wasn't rowing in the same direction.
Well, here's the answer. Projects fail because their communication isn't designed, it's just improvised. Think about it. You would never, ever build a skyscraper without a detailed architectural blueprint. So why would you try to build a project without a communication blueprint? It needs a plan, it needs a solid foundation, and it absolutely needs the right tools to hold it all together. So let's start with the problem itself. I like to call it the invisible wrecking ball, because when communication fails, the damage is very, very real. It can demolish a project's budget, its timeline, and even its safety record before you even know what hit you. When that communication breaks down, it creates this awful domino effect. It starts with simple misunderstandings, right? But those lead directly to costly rework. Then come the delays, which cause huge cost overruns. And pretty soon, tensions are high and you've got major disputes between teams. In the construction world, this can even mean more accidents on site. It's this whole cascade of failure, and it all starts from one simple communication gap.
Okay, so we've seen the chaos. How do we fight back? With a plan. You need that communication blueprint we talked about. And this isn't just about having more meetings or sending more emails. It's a real strategy for figuring out who you need to talk to, what they need to know, and what's the best way to get that information to them.
And that's the real challenge, right? On any big project, you're juggling this whole web of people. You've got your clients, your designers, your contractors, maybe even the public or the government. And every single one of them has a different level of power and a different level of interest in what you're doing.
The solution is a really cool tool called a stakeholder analysis matrix. It's actually pretty simple, but it's super powerful. You map everyone out based on two things: how much power do they have, and how much interest do they have. This helps you sort everyone into buckets, from the high-power, high-interest folks you need to manage closely to the low-power, low-interest groups you just need to monitor. It's basically a roadmap for where to focus your energy.
But a blueprint is just paper without the right tools to actually build the thing. So now we're going to look at two really powerful concepts for turning that plan into a real structure of trust, collaboration, and most importantly, action.
So tool number one is a concept from Japan called obeya, which literally means the big room. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a physical or a virtual space where all the key people, the designers, the contractors, the client, all come together. The whole point is to get everyone in the same room, looking at the same information, so you can solve problems right then and there and keep the project moving forward.
So what's the magic of the big room? Well, it really comes down to a few key principles. First, everyone is aligned on the big picture, the why. Second, the information is super transparent and visual. We're talking charts and timelines all over the walls. And maybe most important, people are there to do the work, not just talk about it. Decisions get made, problems get solved on the spot.
Okay, collaboration is fantastic. We love it. But it's totally meaningless if it doesn't lead to action, right? You can have a great meeting where everyone feels super productive, but if people walk away with just vague ideas, you haven't really accomplished anything. And that's where our second tool comes in. It's called commitment-based management, or CBM. This is a framework that's all about turning those fuzzy conversations into clear, accountable promises. It's a system designed to make sure that when someone asks for something, a specific person makes a specific promise to deliver a specific thing by a specific time. No more ambiguity.
And the process is a simple 4-step loop. It's kind of like a little dance. First is preparation. You make a clear request. Then, negotiation. You both agree on what's actually possible. Third is performance. Surprise, surprise, the work gets done. And finally, and this is crucial, it ends with feedback to close the loop and make sure the promise was kept. It's what turns "we should do this" into "I promise I will deliver this by Friday." So you've got your blueprint, you've got your tools. Awesome. But how do you make sure the plan actually sticks? You need a bigger system, something to hold it all together and make sure people are accountable. And that's where the right framework comes in.
This framework is called project governance. And if your communication plan is the blueprint, think of governance as the building code. It's the set of rules and roles and processes that make sure the right people are making the right decisions at the right time, all to serve the project's ultimate goals. It's the rulebook that keeps everybody playing the same game. And a strong governance system isn't just one thing. It's made of a bunch of integrated parts, all humming along together. You need clearly defined roles so there's no confusion about who does what. You need structured meetings with a clear purpose. You need a way to manage risks before they blow up, and you need transparent reporting so everyone is working from a single source of truth.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute, because even though we've been using construction as our guide, all these powerful lessons about blueprints and tools and governance, they're not just for building sites. They apply to any project in any field of any size. I mean, the source material itself says it perfectly. This isn't some niche problem. A breakdown in communication is a universal threat. It's right at the heart of why we succeed or fail, whether we're building a bridge or building a new piece of software. And the difference between the two approaches is it's night and day. Without a communication blueprint, you get chaos. You get conflicting goals, checked out teams, and you're constantly redoing work. But with a blueprint, you get clarity. You get aligned teams making clear commitments, solving problems together, and actually driving toward a successful finish. So the next time you kick off a project, doesn't matter if it's launching a product, planning a marketing campaign, or organizing an event, I want you to think of it like a construction site. It's a complex thing you have to build with a whole bunch of different people. And the very first thing you need to build, that's your communication blueprint.